Good morning, children. How are you all? Hope you're all safe and sound. Today, we will see the topic diversity in cells. What is diversity? We'll try to understand the word. What is diversity? Diversity is you can say different. You might have heard the word unity in diversity, right? In our social textbook, you will come across this words unity in diversity. In the sense, there are different religions in the world, different religions in India, different customs in India, different traditions in India. So the word diversity shows different. And show the word says different. So even now we are going to see the diversity in the cells. So we see that these diversity in cells. So we all know that now each and every living organism is made up of cells. Each and every organism living on the earth are made up of cells. Now these cells are not similar in size. They are not similar in shape. They doesn't have the same shape. They doesn't have the same size. They are absolutely different from each other. Isn't children? So we have seen so many experiments now, right? We have seen the cells in the cheek cells, cells in the matchstick, cells in the onion peel. If you observe these cells, in each and every experiment, we see different cells. They are not same in shape nor same in size. They are absolutely different. And moreover, they also vary in number in different organs, in different organisms. So each and every organism will not have the same cells. If human body has X number of cells, ant will not have the same number of cells, or a butterfly will not have the same number of cells, or a tiger will not have the same number of cells. Cells may vary. The shape of the cells will vary at the same time or differ. The size of the cells also will differ. And moreover, the functions of each and every cell, sometimes it's not the same. It is completely different in different organs. The cells in the liver will have a different function. The cells in the lungs will have a different function. The cells in the heart will have a different function. So the functions, the structure, the shape, the size of each and every cell, each and every cells and all in different organs is not same. It's absolutely different. So basing on that, we divide the organisms into two basing on the cells. One is unicellular, second one is multicellular. What is unicellular? Here the unicellular means the organisms which are made up of single cell. So it's actually a wonderful thing to know about that, because see, we are all multicellular organisms. We are all multicellular, or we are made up of many cells. We are made up of n number of cells, some millions of cells. But there are organisms which are living around us which are made up of only single cell. There are organisms which are made up of only single cell. So we know, see, if you have to give an example of this unicellular organism, so you can take the examples of amoeba and paramecium. Amoeba and paramecium are the unicellular organisms. And whereas when you come to the multicellular, what's the best example you can take? Right. So you can take the man, insects, plants, even animals. Insects also will come in the animals. But you can take n number of examples like this. So which are made up of many cells, a number of millions of cells. But whereas when you come to the unicellular, you can take the amoeba and paramecium, which are only made up of one single cell. Okay, children. So now here we try to understand what are the things which are present in the cell. So that's always a question, right? So what are the things which are present in the cell? That is what we are going to see now. So children, if you observe the experiments which you have done till now, if you see the cells which we have seen now, so we will try to take the onion peel experiment first. Okay, no, we'll go ahead like this. So we'll see the structure of the cell, and also we'll try to know the differences. Now I'm taking a cell, not exceptionally plant cell or the animal cell. So now if you take a cell, it will have a outer covering. It's an outer protection layer which is called as cell membrane. What is called as cell membrane. And this cell membrane can also be called as plasma membrane. So this cell membrane is the outer covering of the cell, which is also a protective layer of the cell. This is also called as the plasma membrane. Why it is called? What is the function? What is the function of this cell membrane? This cell membrane allows the things to come inside and go outside, and also it will protect the internal parts of the cell. So whatever the parts which are there in the cell, they are protected by the cell membrane. The contents of the cell will be under the control of the cell membrane, because it will not allow anything to go out, nor it will allow anything to come inside. Only if it selects the things. So if it wants something to come inside, if it wants something to go outside, it will send it. So it is also called as selectively permeable membrane. Why it is called as selectively permeable membrane? Because it allows only few things to come inside and few things to go outside. So it has a control over the things which has to go and which has to come in. So that is it's very much selective. That's why we call it as selectively permeable membrane. The other one, which is very, very prominent, is called as the layer which I have drawn here is the blue color layer which I have drawn here is cell wall. Now this cell wall is very much prominent in the plant cells. It is not present in the animal cells. So this cell membrane and the plasma membrane or the selectively permeable membrane is common in the animal cell and plant cell. But whereas cell wall is only present in the plant cell. It is not present in the animal cell. Is it clear? The next part which we see in the cell is the nucleus. If you observe the cheek cell, it is somewhere in the center. But whereas if you observe in the onion peel and all, no, it will be somewhere in the corner. So we'll see what is the shape of the nucleus. So the nucleus is present in the cell and it is the integral part of the cell. It is the organelle. Okay, let me confirm one thing to you all, that all the contents of this cell, for example, if you take the human body, what are the different things present in our body called as organs? What do you call them as? Organs. But whereas things which are inside the cell are called as, we call them as organelles. What do you call them as? Organelles. Say it again. Organelles. So our human body will have organs. If you take only cell will have organelles. So now what is cell membrane? It's an organelle. What is cell wall? It's an organelle. What is nucleus? It's an organelle. So all the organelles which are inside the cell are controlled by the nucleus, just like our brain controls our human body. In same way, the nucleus also will control the whole contents of the cell. So nucleus is just like a brain to the cell. So it is the integral and most important part of the body, because all the functions of the cells will depend upon the nucleus. It will give it plays a prominent role in the cell. Okay, so this is the nucleus, which is all very, very important. Now there is a fluid content in the cell. So the whole cell is filled with the fluid content here, and this fluid content is called as, the whole cell is filled with the fluid content like this. The whole cell is filled with the fluid content, watery content, which has 80% of water, and that is called as cytoplasm. What is called as cytoplasm? So cytoplasm is a fluid-like content which is present in the cell. So all the organelles are present in the cytoplasm. So cytoplasm is a fluid content which is present in the cell, and all the organelles are present in the cytoplasm. Okay, so cytoplasm, cell wall, cell membranes, look, all these are called as nucleus. All these are called as cell organelles. What do you call them as? Cell organelles. So to know more about the cell, there are some other organelles. I'll just draw it, but I'll not explain them now. So we have several organelles which are called as mitochondria. There are some organelles which are called as ribosomes. There are organelles which are called as lysosomes. There are organelles which are called as the endoplasmic reticulum. We call it as endoplasmic reticulum, and then there are Golgi bodies which has long, very good vesicles and all. So like this, and there is cytoskeleton. So what not? So many things are present in the cell. So many organelles are present in the cell. About the cell and about their functions and all, we'll discuss in the next class. I mean, your 9th class, where there's a special unit which is called as cell, the structure and the functions. In that, we'll discuss all these things. Is it clear? Okay. So now, just assume that if you are taking the unicellular organisms, it will have a cell. Our human body has a number of cells, right? Millions of cells. But whereas here, the unicellular organism like amoeba has only single cell like this, and this single cell has to perform all the functions of the body, isn't it? So for example, if it's an amoeba is an organism, it has to intake the food, it has to digest the food, it has to excrete the food, it has to respire, and all these processes, who will control them? Only one cell, because it has only one cell. But we have many millions of cells. So whatever we are doing, the same things should be done by the amoeba also. That means amoeba's one single cell that should maintain all the functions of the body. So they will do that, like respiration, excretion, ingestion, right? Even growth and even reproduction. So all the things are controlled by the single cell itself. That's all for today, children. We'll meet in the next class. See you all.